Are you guys sick of capitalism?
Sure am. Tell me about communism.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I guess what would you say are some of the things that you think in society are
I just don't think that there should be any billionaires.
Yeah. Oh, we agree. Yeah, we think that we should expropriate the billionaires, right?
Should the government take control of Amazon?
Yes. After the revolution, under workers' government, a genuine workers' revolution is the working class getting to a point where they're basically already running society. They've realized, like, hey, look, all the factories, all the services, everything, like, we're already running it. We don't need the bosses. We want to take political control.
Expropriate the billionaires. That basically just means destroy innovation. And workers already run society isn't really true, is it? Workers operate within society, but that doesn't mean they can manage or sustain it without leadership, investment or vision. These people think because they can scan a barcode at Amazon that they're ready to run the entire global economy. And they always say the same thing, after the revolution. Well, this was said before, right? And what happened after the revolution? Each and every time, millions of people starved. This is the socialist dream right here. And this is the reality.
I think that Mamdani is the best person to begin this revolution.
I think that what Mamdani has shown is that the working class is absolutely sick of the establishment and sick of being crushed under the weight of the capitalist class. If we actually want to accomplish these goals, right? He's putting forward some really good reforms, free buses, rent freeze on rent stabilized housing. But we would say, why stop at buses? Why not free subways? Why stop at just rent stabilized housing? Why not expropriate all of the houses and put them under workers' control?
How do we have a successful revolution?
So the active revolution, a lot of people think, oh, violent, bloody. No.
They want to remove capitalism, which is the source of the very wealth that they want to redistribute. The wealth that they're not smart enough to get themselves, so they just want to take it off other people. Then they want free buses, rent freeze. They basically just want everything for free. Well, if you're going to freeze the rent and landlords ain't making money anymore, then what's the incentive to even provide housing? And then they say, oh, we want to expropriate all houses. So basically what that means is they want to confiscate private property of people under the excuse of equality. And then she says, put the workers in control. Who are the workers? Who decides who gets what? How do you manage the upkeep? Every time this has been tried in history, it's always failed, but here they are still trying it. And this is the guy that they want to lead this revolution.
My name is Zohran Kwame Mamdani. I was born and raised in Kampala, Uganda, and immigrated to New York City with my family at the age of 7. And then 2 years ago, I finally got my citizenship. We need a socialist New York because the market cannot be what determines the distribution of dignity.
So this is the guy, right, who's probably going to become the next mayor of New York, saying the market cannot be what determines the distribution of dignity. Sounds great, doesn't it? It doesn't mean anything though, because markets don't hand out dignity. All they do is allocate value based on demand, effort, skill and risk. You can still have dignity and be broke. What he's really saying is, we want the state to decide who deserves what. Anyway, this is the woman in the video.
I use 3 different sets of pronouns, they, them, theirs, airs, and its.
Yeah, I don't know what that even means. This is their LinkedIn, which is supposed to be a business professional profile, and obviously they've put their sexuality on there because it is their whole personality. And this is their driving license, which looks like it's been changed from male to female. It's kind of ironic that she's promoting communism with the hammer and sickle, because people like this wouldn't survive in a communist regime. Anyway, this is the best bit. Check this out.
Can I take one?
In any literature? Yeah. We sell these. Usually, like I think these ones are $2 for this one.
Oh, okay. It costs money?
Yeah. But if you'd like to take one of our pamphlets for we have
it costs money to get the communism one?
Yes. Yeah.
I see.
They're literally standing there handing out pamphlets about abolishing capitalism on paper that somebody sold them, printed by a company that runs on profit. You can't make this up. And they're selling them themselves. They're not giving them away, no. You have to pay for it. So you couldn't invent a better self-own, could you? Capitalism wins again. So in order to fund their revolution, they actually need capitalism. Which actually proves the free market works. Somebody had to print them, somebody had to ship them, and somebody had to make some money off it. And here they are making money off it. Hilarious. Anyway, this woman actually came from China. She escaped this type of thing, so she's very aware of the type of language these people use and the fake promises that they make before they get into power. So she knows what this guy's really about, and this is what she had to say.
He is a full-fledged communist. I don't know whether the New York voters understand what it means. That seize means of production. That means abolish private property. That means the state will take over businesses, capital, land, and the resources. And that's the place I came from. I shopped in the government-owned grocery store. And what it is like? Long line, ration, and empty shelf. And I lived in a government-granted housing. My family of 5 had 1.5 room, and we were lucky because we share bathroom with 4 other families. Others, they have an outhouse. And I grew up in and I endured the educational system that required that every day we raise our class consciousness. And what that means is to follow the party line. And I escaped that world. I came here for freedom. And if American falls, all of us have no place to go. New Yorkers, you have to wake up. I'm so glad President Trump sees through it and call him a communist. He is a communist.
So one of Mamdani's genius ideas for New York is free buses, which sounds really great, doesn't it? Free transport for everyone, except it's not free because it never is, right?
Everyone in New York City is talking about Democratic Socialist mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani and his new proposal to make all bus rides free. Do you think buses should be free as a bus driver?
I don't think so. The bus should be free for everyone. Period. It's a wonderful idea, but how you finance it is the first step.
That's an extra $800 million every year New Yorkers are going to have to pay in taxes.
Oh, well, no, that's not a good idea.
Who would you not vote for?
The socialist guy.
Yeah, I wouldn't vote for the socialist guy. I hate the socialist guy.
So the total cost of making all buses free is somewhere around $700 million a year.
He's going to make all the buses free.
Yeah, how's that going to be possible? It's nice in theory, but how are you going to do that?
And the best part? It's free.
Half the people who get on the bus, they don't pay, they go in the back door here. Look at the back door.
When there's 2 doors, people get in the second door and just get on the bus and they don't pay.
Do you ever see people who don't pay?
All the time.
There's no accountability. There's never cops on the bus. There's never everybody that checks.
How fast do the buses move?
I think if he wins, people will leave the city.
What do you think will happen to the bus if it's free for everyone?
No, they should pay for it. You know what I mean? They need to hire the technicians and everything. So they need a lot of money.
What we've learned today is there's no such thing as a free bus ride.
Have you ever seen what his argument is for that? He says it's because the box where you put the money, it makes the homeless people who come in feel very bad, that they have to pay. So just remove the conflict that leads to violence against the bus driver. Just get rid of the bus fare, the toll box. And then all the stuff. That is the reasoning of a child. Well, how do you pay for how do you pay the income of whatever called the check? How do you pay the bus driver? Where does the money go? How do you do this? It doesn't make any sense. But they're saying, let's remove the cost because it makes the crook unhappy. Okay.
It's going to cost around $800 million a year, and that's just in fare money that they've lost. That's before you even talk about maintenance, drivers, mechanics, diesel fuel, new buses, depot upgrades. So who's going to pay for that? Obviously the taxpayer. In a place like New York where they pay extremely high taxes as it is. And it's always the top 10% who will get hit the hardest, right? So these people are going to start thinking, why am I going to stay here and continue to get fleeced more and more every year? Because that's how it always goes, right? And the bottom 90% will always continue to vote to take more and more and more from the top 10%. It's basically a cycle that never ends. They're never happy. So you've got the people who actually fund everything for the city, the ones who are paying the bulk of the taxes already, and they say, you know what, why should I stay here when I'm already paying more than my fair share? And then they get labelled by the bottom 90% as greedy for wanting to keep their own hard-earned money. So then what happens? Then they move, they decide, you know what, I'm going to go to Florida or Texas, places that don't punish your hard work, and then they leave, and then New York's tax base collapses over time. And then the same people who voted for free everything are just left there asking, where's all the money?